Welcome to these sections. We'll quickly continue with the introduction. Let's quickly get back and dive into the main topic. What is mini importation business? So importation business on its own is simply the act of buying goods from foreign land and having them shipped or delivered in your country or place of business or destination. Therefore, mini importation business is the practice of importation business in a small scale, just in a small scale. So let's see the differences between mini importation and the major importation business. As mini importation is a practice of the business in small scale, so is major importation. So is major importation a practice of the business in large scale, where an entire container of cargo belongs to an individual or a business. So that is basically different. Mini is a practice of the business in a small scale, and then major is this time doing it in a large scale that involves shipping of items in higher volume. Okay, so we will talk about a forwarding company. So what is a forwarding company? It's a company that organizes shipment for individuals or corporations to get goods from manufacturer or producer to a market, customer, or the final destination. So simply, these are companies that help you to with the logistic services, moving of the product from its original place, supplier, manufacturer, or wherever you are getting it from, to your location or your desired destination. So let's say if you are buying things from China, USA, everything is a forwarding company that helps you to bring it down to your country of destination. So let's look at basic knowledge, the terms and definitions that we're going to use. So let's straightforward go ahead to Chinese domestic site. These are shopping or business network websites written completely in Chinese language. The Chinese or the foreigners residing in China with this job Chinese document are mostly allowed to use these platforms. They have these websites have suppliers, factories, and manufacturers displaying their products that they produce or they have in stock on these Chinese domestic websites. So it's obvious things that you'll be getting, the product you're getting will be at factory price, with a depth cheap price. This time around, you don't have to deal with any retailer or middleman or anything. You just go ahead and get the things from the original source with its lowest price you can get on the market. So some of these sites are for B2B, B2C transaction and consumer order, which is retail side. B2C and then these consumer orders are almost the same. The consumer and also stand for C2C. So some of these sites, although they are in Chinese language also, but some of them are not actually wholesale sites. So we have to distinguish. So these are some example of this website. We have the 1688 is basically a wholesale network or a wholesale platform website that you get things very cheap on a wholesale basis. We also have Taobao, which is both wholesale and retail. Taobao actually is the first that came in that gave birth to 1688, which became a wholesale place. These two sites belong to one person, which is by the name Jack Ma, actually my mentor. We also have JD.com, in full stand for John Don, but simply it's a JD.com. It's a retail site that I have the Chinese citizens buy their stuff from. We also have Tmall. It's also a retail site, actually the largest mall in China online. Yeah, so that is it for Chinese domestic site. We'll later go onto our browser to see how these websites look like. So let's go back and take a look at how to determine the exchange rate and how to then calculate the cost and then pricing of our goods. So how to determine the exchange rates to calculate the costs and pricing of your imported goods for profit. There are things that you have to look out for when you have to determine the exchange rate, and then how you can go about pricing it so that you don't run a loss for the things you've imported. So we'll go ahead with the exchange rate. These are the things you have to look out for. Exchange rate from the Chinese yuan, which is also known as the RMB, to the US dollar. You have to know that it can be gotten from the forwarding company website, or the forwarding company's agent that you are dealing with, because they have a special rate they work with. You might get an average one from Google or your currency converter app, but that is not what they are dealing with you. So if you use that, you end up having issues with how much you spend. And then you have to also look at the exchange rate from the US dollar, which you've gotten from the forwarding company. You have to know the exchange rate from the US dollar to the local currency. This one you get it from the bank you are doing business with, or your local exchanger who you might buy dollar from or RMB from. So the next thing you have to look at is the cost of the product on the local market. If there's any, if the product is even on your local market, you have to know the cost to determine your profiting margin. Yeah, so that's central to the profit margin. You going to calculate how much you want to make on each product you are selling, whether you are going to sell it on a wholesale basis that you are supplying other small scale enterprises, or they are going to sell it by per unit. So all depend. You can calculate your profit margin between 30 to 100%. People go beyond even 100% at time. So that it is for to estimate the total cost. We'll later dive into all this. Let's just do a little of theory before we go ahead. So choosing the right product. This is one of the key places you have to take a very important aspect you have to pay very keen attention to as a starter. So who is looking forward to quickly grow his or her business into a very lucrative one? Your choice of product selection is one of the key to making it in this business. The choice you make when selecting your product to determine whether you grow fast or not. These are some few things to consider. The value of the product, the value the product will add to each user's life and its uniqueness to other products on the market. And then the competition on the products on market. This is actually a 50-50 event. And then you have to also look at the weight, cost, and the profit margin you're going to set when you are selecting a product for the first time, the product you want to start with as the mini importer. You have to consider this. So let's make a quick analysis of this. So let's make a case study of this. Just few examples I've put in place. So let's have a look at this pen drive. You know, on the market we used to have only one head port, which can only be used for computer system or some music players or your DVD. This is the only one. So this one you can only copy directly from your computer, and then you can use it elsewhere on your music player. That used to be the then pen drive we have, but technology has evolved so quickly that this time around we have one that we call the OTG. That stands for on the go. So OTG pen drive, it has two ports. One that can be used with your Android device or your smartphone, which you can connect this pen drive to. You can connect this OTG pen drive to. So if we are talking about the value it adds to the end user's life and how unique it is from other products that are on the line. You can see this OTG actually does two things at the same time. Unlike first, you can only save your file or your movies from your PC and watch it on a DVD. On this time, you can save your movies onto it, and while traveling or at your any urgency time, you can just load your pen drive onto your smartphone and you can get data just like you do even at the outset of your computer. So you can see this one is even adding more value than the old one, the previous type that has only one port. So you can see how unique this product is and the value it's going to add to its end user this time around. So we did talk about the weight, cost, and the profit margin. So let's go back. Let's compare these two products again. This OTG pen drive has hard value, meaning if the normal one is being sold at $3 on the market, on your local market, you are going to sell it because this one have more function. You are going to sell it at almost double the price, or at times people do sell it triple the price it costs. So, and when you the price you get it on the from the supplier or the factory is almost the same, just a little higher than the normal one you get, and this time you have control. So now let's say this one has value than the bag. This bag is also a beautiful bag, but on the market you end up on the African market, you can get this bag that like around $10, $10, 15 to 20. The highest you get this bag is $20 on the local market. So let's have a look at this. Let's compare these products. On the local market, you're going to get a bag for $20 most. When you convert it to my country's Ghana's local currency, it's going to be around 80, 90 cedis. It's going to be around 90 to 100, less than 100 cedis. So let's say it is 100 cedis in a local currency from the country in which I come from. Although this bag will sell 100 cedis, but comparing it to the OTG pen drive, let's compare the weight. One of these pen drive is going to be 0.03 kg, and just one bag set of this bag is going to cost 0.8 kg, which means if you approximate it, if you approximate it to 1 kg, because your forwarding company will normally charge you for 1 first kilogram weight of which they are going to forward or ship to you, will estimate it to. So if you calculate this, realize that just one bag is equal to 1 kg, and then for the pen drive you can have about 30 from 20 to 33 pieces of this pen drive in 1 kg. So now if you bought this bag from the supplier, the total cost of the bag is around $10, even $10, if around, although the shipping fee you are going to use, the shipping fee will cost you like $12 per kg. You got a product at $10 in addition. If you got this bag at $5 and they are charging you $12 or $11 per kg, add it, you are going to get a total cost of around $17 to $18, and the highest you can sell it, depending on marketing strategy, you end up selling this bag at around $21. As a mini importer, it's not advisable. But for this pen drive, 33 pieces of it, if it's sold on your local market, the old one is sold at $5. These new ones will be sold somewhere around $7, $10. So you are going to spend about $18 here, and then here even $18. You're going to get this pen drive normally around, depending on the capacity, you are going to get it from $2 going. So even if it's $2, you are going to get about more than 5 pieces of this. So if you multiply the 5 pieces by you selling it at $10, you are going to make 5 by 5. You are going to make a sum of $25. You are going to make $25. So if you are getting 33 pieces, that is going to make, you can see you will make more profit selling this product compared to a bag as a starter. So the choice of product is very important. You have to be mindful of the weight and the value. This doesn't have much value like this, at the same time this is less weight than this. So you can see how important it is to choose the right product as a starter. So that is it for choosing the right product. So let's go ahead to how to estimate the buying and delivery time. Let's quickly go on there. Knowing the estimated days it will take you from buying to having your goods delivered to your doorstep is very important. It allows you to determine your marketing strategy and the period to recover your investment. These are the average time I have put prior to my little experience I've had doing this business. So normally buying time takes 3 to 4 days. At most it should be 7 days, but normally it's 3 to 4 days. When you buy, you make your order from 3 to 4 days, the goods should arrive at your agent or your forwarding company's warehouse for it to be shipped out. So the forwarding company also takes some time to process your goods, which normally also take 3 to 4 days, depending on the volume of weight they have around to move the thing. The most it takes is 7 days. Then we have the shipping time, which is 3 days. Immediately the thing gets on board, it uses 3 days. The most is 7 days. If the airline uses 7 days to arrive in Ghana, or using the shipping system that I'm going to talk about, it's 3 days. And it varies with other countries also. So your country also, delivery time will be displayed by your forwarding company. Then we have the clearing time, 1 to 3 days. So if you average all this time, you realize that from buying to your goods being delivered to your doorstep in your hand, it takes roughly 14 days for you to go through all this process. So you should give yourself this time so you know when actually to start marketing your product. So that is it for the time estimation. Then we now go to the main. We are getting closer to the main work, which is the tools and setup. For you to start this big business, you need to put in place some tools, and you have to set up these tools so you can have a conducive atmosphere to start the mini importation business. So let's look at some tools that will be required. We will need a computer with internet access or a smartphone with internet access. The computer will help you a lot, but the smartphone also is a smart move in some aspects. So these are the two. Either of it will be good to start with. But you also need, for setting up, you need to have a browser on your laptop or your phone. So you can get either of these browser, but in this tutorial I'm going to use the Firefox browser most. You can also get Chrome. Chrome is also good, but I find it easy and simple using the Firefox. So after that, you have to install some software called add-on, which will be helping you to translate this Chinese domestic site into English, so to make it understandable and readable in your choice of language. So let's quickly move to our browser. Okay, so this is my browser. Like I said, I'm working from a computer, so when you have your computer ready, you can just go to any website and download your browser if you don't have it already. But most computers come with browser. The default one, depending on which operating system, will be Firefox. The only thing you do is to get this thing, but the setup will be added to the course. You can download and install onto your computer. So this is the browser. I'm using Firefox for this tutorial. You can use Chrome also, it's almost the same. So you have to install the add-on. The first thing you have to do when you open your browser, and you have the internet access over here, is to install add-on. So you just click on this button and you can see add-ons here. This shortcut is Ctrl+Shift+A. When you click on it, it brings you here and you see extension. So the next thing you type in the search on add-ons is s3.google translator, and you hit enter or search. You hit the search button, then it quickly loads. So this, the add-on we are looking for is the second one. We don't want this, the first one. This is what we want. So the name has changed, so you can see the name is now S3 Translator. So you quickly hit on add to Firefox, then it downloads and install as the add-on. So after everything, just click on add and it's okay. So after it being added, and open this for you to this necessary settings. It's not important, just ignore this, and you can see its icon is showing now on the browser toolbar. So just close this and close this, and that is it. You are ready to go. So that is it for this section. Let's meet in the next section. So we continue. Bye.